Hey everybody, Varun here from Language Academy. Guys, welcome back to another video. This video, we are going to look at the speaking module. This video is going to be a speaking masterclass. Each and everything you need to follow to get a perfect 90. Everything which I did after the changes to get a perfect 90, and what all you need to do after the changes in speaking to get a perfect 90. We'll be covering all the modules, all the question types in the speaking, and I'll tell you what are the things you need to do, what are the things you need to avoid, what has actually changed, and how you have to practice to see if you are doing it the right way or not. I've got a presentation for you here. I'll share my screen. I would request you to take notes so that you don't have to watch the video again and again and you get your desired scores in the very first go. Let's get started with the video, see what we have got today, and I can write it down. If you watch this video till the end, you will not need to watch any other video, and definitely you will completely understand what PT speaking is about and how you have to get a perfect 90. Let's get started. Whenever you go for the test, the very first thing you'll need to do is you will have to make sure your microphone is placed properly. It's the computer, there is just a system which will be conducting and assessing your responses. There's no human who will put in effort to understand what you're trying to say. If your microphone is not working properly, if it's not placed properly, unfortunately there will be issues with the recording and you will struggle big time. What I would want you to do is, I would want you to be very careful with the microphone placement. Do not keep the microphone too close to your mouth. Do not keep it too far or too away from the mouth. Just keep it around 4 fingers away and keep it parallel to your mouth, not too low or not too up as well. And make sure you do not touch the microphone again and again, because if you touch it again and again, there will be a lot of disturbance and it is going to create issues for the computer while assessing your response. Once you have placed your microphone, this is how your screen is going to look like. If you're not comfortable, if you think it's not being recorded properly, ask for help. You need to ask for help. You don't need to worry that if they'll be able to help you or not. If you're not sure, ask for help, because we don't really want any issues with your recording. And once you are good to go, you have to just focus, calm, and relax. The very first thing when it comes to your PT speaking is personal introduction. In personal introduction, you'll be given 25 seconds to prepare, and then for 30 seconds, you have to speak about yourself. This is not evaluated, this is just to get you started. Once you set up your microphone, you'll be given 30 seconds to introduce yourself. This is not evaluated, this is just to get you started. You can speak anything for up to 30 seconds. This is not marked. Highly recommend you to attempt this. Do not leave this unattempted, please. Okay. Why you have to attempt it? So that you can get into the flow, you can get into the rhythm, and once you are comfortable, calm, you'll be able to perform in the task which are actually marked. Once you're done with your personal introduction, your speaking will marked. And remember, speaking is the backbone of your test. Speaking is the backbone. You have to be very careful and you have to give your best over here. There are 5 different question types in speaking. Altogether, you'll have around 28 to 29 questions depending on the exam pattern, but there are 5 different type of questions. First is read aloud. You'll have 6 to 7 read alouds, then 10 to 12 repeat sentences, 3 to 4 describe images, 1 or 2 retell lectures, and 5 or 6 answer short questions. The very first question type is read aloud. Now, before I explain you any question type, remember your speaking is based on 3 parameters. Your speaking is based on 3 parameters, and speaking is the backbone of the PT test. If you do good in speaking, definitely you'll be able to get your desired scores. The 3 parameters are fluency, pronunciation, and content. Fluency. A lot of times students confuse fluency with speed. Remember, fluency is not your speed, it's more about your flow. You have to speak in a flow, you have to take natural pauses. Do not think that if you'll speak fast, you'll be able to get the desired scores. Fluency is about going in a smooth flow, taking natural pauses, and avoiding any kind of unnatural pauses and hesitations. Next is your pronunciation. Pronunciation is basically your clarity. You have to make sure whatever you pronounce is clear. It's not your accent. It's not your accent. You do not have to imitate any kind of accent. You have to keep it natural, but make sure each and every word you speak is clear and understandable. Third is your content. Content is different in each and every question type, which I'll explain along with the questions when we have a look at each type of question. So as I've explained you, fluency, This means going in a smooth flow, not too fast, avoiding any kind of hesitations and self-corrections. Pronunciation means you have to speak clearly. You do not have to worry about your accent. You have to pronounce all the words clearly in your natural accent. All right, so read aloud. What happens in read aloud? Let's have a look at read aloud. You will be given a text on your screen. Along with the text, you'll be given 35 seconds to prepare. Once the 35 seconds are gone, you will hear a beep sound which indicates that your recording has started. Once you get the beep sound, you have to start reading the passage on your screen. You will be given around 35 seconds to give your response. However, you will be able to read it in around 20 seconds. Once you are done, you can move on to the next question. You'll have 6 to 7 of these. This is a super important question type. Why? Because this contributes in speaking as well as in reading. Your fluency and pronunciation scores will go in speaking, and your content scores will go in reading. Remember this thing. To get full points in fluency, you have to make sure you speak in a smooth flow, avoid any kind of unnatural pauses, but you can take natural pauses. For, to get full points in pronunciation, make sure you speak each and every word clearly. To get full points in content, you have to make sure you read each and every word as it is on the screen, especially the words ending with S and ED. Let's say there's a word parameters and you're saying parameter. Unfortunately, you are going to lose points in content for this, which will further impact your reading module. Now, let me show you how you have to do. Let's say if I get this read aloud in my test, this is the speed I'll follow. Easy and calm. If you're not comfortable, if you're stressed, you'll not be able to speak clearly. You have to be very calm and confident. A Medicare Advantage plan may complement your existing VA benefits and help reduce gaps in your healthcare coverage. Enrolling in a Medicare Advantage plan may provide access to additional services and benefits. Dental coverage may not be covered by VA healthcare. So you have to take slide pause at full stop. If there's a comma, you can take a slide pause at comma as well. If there's no comma, no full stop, and it's a long, lengthy sentence, you can take a slide pause at end of a phrase or at connectors as well. So you have to keep it easy. You have to be very calm and you'll be okay. Let me do another one for you. Plants play a crucial role in ecosystems, serving as a foundation and contributing to human well-being by providing resources such as food and medicine. In order to gain a deeper understanding of how plants can adapt and remain resilient in the face of challenges like climate change, scientists have developed an innovative mathematical model. So don't say scientist, make sure you pronounce or stress on the S sound as well. Don't say resource, say resources with S. So you have to be careful with S sound, ED sound, go in a smooth flow, focus on clarity. You'll be given 35 seconds to give your response. You'll be able to finish in around 20 seconds. And once you're done, don't wait for the recorder to stop by itself. You just click on the next button in the text. So this was the read aloud. How do you read the numbers? You read the numbers exactly as you speak in spoken English. Let's say I was born in 1997, let's say, right? If there's a year given, don't just say I was born in 1997. You'll say 1997. Contractions like isn't, can't, don't, you have to read it exactly the same way as they're on the screen. You do not have to expand the word, okay? So this is what you have to do in read aloud. Next question type is repeat sentence. Again, a super important question type, super important. What happens here? You will get an audio with a sentence. The sentence can be 8 to 16 words long. And as soon as the sentence stops, your recording will start and you'll have to repeat the sentence exactly as you hear it. For example, you'll get an audio with the sentence, I'm going to London with my friends tomorrow. After 1 second, the recording will start and you'll have to repeat the same sentence. You will get 10 to 12 of these. Why this is super important? Because this contributes in speaking as well as in listening, and this is a super important task. This is extremely important. This is assessed on three parameters as your read aloud is. Fluency 5 points, pronunciation 5 points, but here content is different. You get 3 points for your content. Fluency again is your smooth flow, not too fast, not too slow. Pronunciation is your clarity. Whatever you're speaking, you have to make sure you speak it clearly. You get 3 points for content. To get 3 on 3 in your content, you have to make sure, or what Pearson actually says is, if you repeat 100% of the sentence in correct sequence, you get 3 on 3. If you repeat more than 50% of the sentence but less than 100% of it, you get 2 on 3. If you repeat more than 25% but less than 50%, you get 1 by 3. If you repeat less than 25, you get 0 in content. Now, I've taken the test 12 times. Every time I've got 19 listening, 19 speaking, and I can tell you from my experience, I've been teaching PT for 7 years now, that even to get 3 on 3, you don't really need to repeat 100% of the content. Even if you repeat 70 to 80% of the content, but clearly and confidently, you will be able to get 3 on 3. PT is not really testing how good your short memory is. It's just a language test, not your short memory test. So you don't have to stress about repeating each and everything, but yes, at least around 70% clearly and confidently will do the job for you. Okay, this is how your screen is going to look like. So this is the audio bar and this is the recording bar. Once this finishes, this will start and you'll have to repeat the sentence. As I've told you, fluency means you have to go in a smooth flow, not too fast, and avoid hesitations. Pronunciation means you have to speak clearly. It's not about your accent. For content, I've explained to you. PT guideline says that you have to repeat 100% in correct sequence if you have to get 3 on 3. But I can tell you 70 to 80% clearly and confidently, it's fine. But what if you do not have 100% of the content? I can definitely tell you this, that you'll not be able to get 100% of the content every time, because sentences can be lengthy, sentences can be difficult, accent can be thick, you might not be able to understand it. What you have to do is see, out of 12 repeat sentences, 8 to 9 will be easy, 2, 3 will be difficult and long. What you need to do is you need to understand the meaning of the sentence. As much as you remember, speak it clearly and confidently. Do not stop. Do not stop. Why? Because if you stop and think, you'll not have that much time that you'll be able to recall it. In that case, you lose points in fluency and in your content as well. But let's say if you just speak 4 words and then make a sentence by yourself. For example, I'm going to London with my friends tomorrow, and you only remember I'm going to London. You don't remember the remaining part. You just say, I'm going to London and I'm very excited about it. Now, in this case, I've just repeated around 30% of the content. I'll get 1 on 3 in content. However, I've spoken it fluently, I've spoken it clearly, I'll get full points in fluency and pronunciation. So try to repeat maximum content, but in case you do not have 100% content, what you do is, as much as you remember, speak it clearly and confidently, and you will be 100% fine. You can write down the initials of each and every word, or you can write first few words of the sentence. However, you'll not have that much time, so I'll recommend you not to write down anything in repeat sentences. It's better you understand the meaning of the sentence, understand what the sentence is, and then speak it clearly and confidently, and that will help you maximize your content. Yes, obviously, sentences which are shorter than 10 words, you should be able to repeat 100% of these ones. So this is what repeat sentence is about. Focus on clarity, speak clearly, speak in a flow, try to maximize the content. But in case you don't have 100% of the content, make sure you do not stop. Whatever you have got, speak it clearly and confidently. Make sure you practice around 20-25 repeat sentences every day. Next is describe image. This is important and a lot has changed here. Um, Before November 2024, describe image used to be super easy. Majority of the students used to use templates which did not even used to make any sense. You just speak like a robot and you used to get your desired scores. But PT has updated the algorithm, and now if you use templates or structures which are irrelevant, which do not have anything related to the image you have been presented, unfortunately, you're not going to get the desired scores. So from now on, you have to actually speak relevant content to the image, whatever you have been presented with. Okay, let me share my screen again and show you how it works. So what happens in describe image, if you have a closer look, you'll get an image on your screen. That image can be any image, a line graph, a bar graph, a pie chart, any random image. As soon as you have got the image on your screen, you'll be given 25 seconds to prepare. And after these 25 seconds, you'll get 40 seconds to speak about the image. You'll have 3 to 4 of these. This only contributes towards your speaking module. And this again is assessed on 3 parameters. 5 points for fluency, 5 for pronunciation, and 5 for content. Fluency again means you have to speak in a flow, you have to speak calmly, and you have to take natural pauses. Pronunciation is your clarity. You have to make sure each and every word you speak, you pronounce it properly. Then 5 points for content. To get 5 points in content, first of all, now you have to make sure that you do not use irrelevant templates. You do not repeat the same sentence again and again, and you try to speak at least 4 to 5 elements from the image which you have been presented. This is how your screen is going to look like. This is the image you've been given, and this is your audio recording bar. This is a table, and then you'll be given 25 seconds to prepare, and after that 40 seconds to give your response. You do not have to speak exact 40 seconds. You can go anywhere around 30 seconds. That should do the job for you. Things which you have to take care in describe image. Fluency means going in a smooth flow, not too fast, not too slow. You have to avoid hesitations and do not correct yourself. Pronunciation means you have to pronounce all the words clearly. If there's any word, let's say there's a word psychology here. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. Do not speak it. If there's any word you're not really sure about in describe image, do not speak it, please. Content, to get full points in content, try to mention 4 to 5 keywords from or relevant to the image. Try not to use fixed templates which do not have anything relevant to the image. Do not repeat the same sentences again and again. Even if there's no right or wrong answer, you do not really need to be 100% accurate. Remember, even if you're not giving 100% accurate information, you're good, but you have to give 100% relevant information. Means your information should be related to the image you have been presented, even if you're describing it incorrectly, because there's no right or wrong answer. It's just your perception of the image. You don't have to stop. Even if you have less content, you repeat the same thing in different words, but try to go at least 30 seconds. If you have less keywords, repeat the same in different words and use the structure which I'm going to give you. So the structure is, first of all, you introduce it. If you've got a line graph or a bar graph, tell what's on the x-axis and what's on the y-axis. If not, you can start by explaining or mentioning 2 to 3 elements from the image. Explain the first one, just a brief explanation. Explain the second one, tell what's the highest and what's the lowest. Let's say there's no highest and lowest, you can say what's the first element and the last element. Explain one more element and then give a conclusion. Let me do one for you, and that will make things easy for you. But before that, these are few things you can take a note of. Line graph, bar graph, pie chart, you can use words like there's an increase, what's the maximum figure, what's the minimum figure. In process cycle, you can mention what's the first step, what's the second step, what's the last step. In photograph, let's say you have been given a random photograph, you can mention what's in the middle, what's in the background, what's on the top, what's at the bottom, what's on the right, what's on the left. Maps and diagrams, you can mention north, south, top, bottom, left. So you can mention the directions and locations over here. Now let's say you have been given this image. First of all, stop stressing that you have to give 100% correct information. You have to just give 100% relevant information. And the structure which I've given you, it's not that you have to follow it exactly. You can make a structure by yourself as well. So what I always do is I always give an introduction, what's on the x-axis, what's on the y-axis, first element, second element, third element, maximum, minimum, and then conclusion. The bar graph gives information about language usage proportion in multilingual countries. The x-axis shows different languages, which are English, Spanish, and French, whereas the y-axis shows different usage percentage, which are 5, 10, and 15. English is around 10%, whereas Spanish is around 15%. Moreover, French is 27% and German is 30%. Also, Chinese is around 20% and others is around 10%. German is the maximum, whereas English is the minimum. Overall, the image is about different languages which are used in multilingual countries. Now, you might be thinking that I spoke incorrect information here or here as well. It's completely fine to not be 100% accurate. As long as you are 100% relevant to the image, you're good. If you want to even simplify it further, you can do it this way. The image gives information about language usage in different countries. The x-axis shows different languages, which are English, German, and Chinese. The y-axis shows different numbers, which are 10, 20, and 30. English is around 10% and Spanish is around 15%. Moreover, French is 25% and German is 30%. German is the highest, whereas English is the lowest. Overall, the image is about different languages, which are English, Spanish, and French. That's it. Even if you're speaking it your way, you are relevant, you speak in a flow, you're clear, you will 100% get the scores. Now let's say you have been given this image, easy and calm. Introduction, explain what is there in the image, explain one element, second element, third element, maximum, minimum, and move on. The pie chart, or you can simply say the image. The pie chart gives information about national energy usage structure. There are different elements which include renewable, hydro, and nuclear. Renewable energy is around 33%, whereas hydro is 7%. Moreover, nuclear is 25% and natural gas is 11%. Coal is 16% and oil is 6%. The highest one is renewable, whereas the lowest one is oil. Overall, the image is about national energy usage structure. Or you can do it this way as well. The image provides information about national energy usage structure. There are different elements which are hydro, nuclear, and natural gas. Oil is 6%, whereas coal is 16%. Moreover, nuclear is 25% and hydro is 7%. Also, renewable is represented by blue color and oil is represented by yellow color. The highest one is renewable, whereas the lowest one is oil. Overall, the image is about national energy usage structure. That's it, easy. You have to keep it easy, calm, speak it the way you want. The only thing you need to avoid is using templates and repeating the same words again and again. I'll show you what happens when you use the template. We have updated our website as per the PSN guidelines. Let me show you what happens when you actually use the template, okay? All right. Let's say this is the image. The image gives information about tax classification of annual income. There are different elements in the image, which are salary, investment, and property. I can see property, investment, and business. I can see salary, investment, and other. I can see business, property, and investment. I can see blue, green, and white color. Business is 10% and property is 25%. Overall, the image is very beautiful and it provides information about tax classification. So let's see how much we've got here, what we've got here. See, straight away, you're getting 0. 10 is equivalent to 0 in PT. Our system has detected that you have repeated the phrase I can see, which is banned in PT. You cannot use templates in describe image section. If a template is detected, you will receive a 0 score for the entire question type. This is something you should be avoiding. If you're using any other structure, practice here. The template detector is really, really smart. And if you are able to get your scores here, you will definitely be able to get your scores in the actual test as well. We have implemented template detector for writing essay, for speaking describe image, speaking retell lecture, and this will give you a clear idea if your template or the structure you're using is working and what are the things you need to avoid. Now let's move on to the next question type, which is retell lecture. So this was our describe image. I hope I made it clear for you guys. Now let's go on. Okay, let me explain this as well. This has got difficult words. I don't really know how to pronounce this. I don't really know how to pronounce this. I don't really know how to pronounce this. Okay, you have to keep it easy. The chart gives information about members of a management team. There are different members and positions which include director, assistant to director, and marketing manager. The first position is director, which is represented by Jim. Second position is Chris, which is associated with assistant to director. At the bottom, we can see three different positions, which are marketing manager, business development manager, and customer relation manager. Marketing manager is Michelle, whereas Adrian is the business development manager. Smith is the customer relation manager. Overall, the image presents information about members of a management team. What did I do here? I know I speak this one incorrectly, but while speaking, I knew I'm not really making sense over here. But I did not want my fluency to be messed up. That is why I just went on. If you make a mistake while you're speaking, you just go on, please. If there's any word you're not really sure, you don't speak it. You just repeat the same thing in different words and you'll be good. You have to just speak around 30 seconds. If you get image like this, just write down a few words if you wish, or you can just divide it into 4 different segments and you'll be good to go. All right, the fourth task, read a lecture, important task, and template detection is applicable in this particular question type as well. So you have to be very careful, okay? You have to be very careful. You cannot use the template in read a lecture as well. What happens in read a lecture? You'll get an audio lecture or sometimes a video lecture as well. You don't have to worry about the video, just ignore it, just focus on what they're speaking. The lecture will go on for 40 to 90 seconds. While the audio is going on, you have to take notes. After the audio, you'll be given 10 seconds to prepare, and after that, you'll have to retell the lecture. You'll be given 40 seconds, but you have to just speak around 30-35 seconds here as well. This is an important question type because this contributes in speaking and in listening as well. You'll have one or two retell lectures in your test. This again is assessed on three parameters, which is fluency, pronunciation, and content. Fluency is your flow, pronunciation is your clarity, and content here is 5 points. And this content scores will go into your listening, your fluency, and pronunciation scores will go into your speaking. To get 5 points in content, you have to make sure, first of all, you speak relevant content. You do not use the template, you do not repeat the same sentence again and again, and you do not speak single word keywords. Earlier, we also used to suggest, when the changes were not applied, that you can just speak keywords from the lecture, but that's not the case anymore. You have to make sentences or small phrases. Okay, I'll show you when we do one. This is how your screen is going to look like. Sometimes there will be a video here, sometimes there will be an image related with the lecture, sometimes there will be nothing here, just the audio and the recording bar here. Read a lecture, what are the things you need to take care of? Fluency means you have to go in a smooth flow. You don't have to go too fast or too slow. Avoid hesitations and self-corrections. Pronunciation means you have to speak clearly. You don't have to worry about your accent. You have to just speak naturally. Content means you, first of all, do not use a template. You speak relevant information. You don't have to cover each and everything. Let's say the lecture is 90 seconds. Obviously, it's not possible to write or speak everything, but yes, 4 to 5 main ideas or elements from the lecture. There's no right or wrong answer, so you can speak whatever you're comfortable with. However, it should be relevant to the lecture. Again, you don't have to speak single word keywords. You have to frame proper sentences, and then you don't have to repeat the same sentence again and again. If you have less content, you can repeat the same ideas or content in different words, but do not repeat the same sentence. However, I would not recommend you to speak less than 30 seconds. Anywhere around 30-35 seconds should be good. Ensure you speak relevant content from the lecture. Repeat the same phrases if you have got less keywords. Use the structure as I'll be providing you right now, but do not repeat the same sentence again and again. Grammar is not really important. You can repeat the keywords as well, but you cannot repeat the same sentence again and again. Vocabulary is not important, so you don't worry about using fancy words, okay? This is the structure which you have to use. This is just a structure so that you can include maximum content. You can frame a structure by yourself as well. So you start with the main topic. Dash was the main topic of the lecture. Firstly, he or she mentioned point number 1. Furthermore, he discussed point number 2. Moreover, you give point number 3, point number 4, and point number 5. If you have more sentences or more ideas or more keywords or phrases, another one. Otherwise, you conclude like this. Overall, the lecture was about this and focused on 2 to 3 short points, or you can just repeat these ones. Now, when you take notes, the main idea is to take the notes neatly. A lot of time, what happens is students, when they're trying to take the notes, they try to write each and everything down. And when the recording starts, they're not even able to read what they've written. The whole idea is taking the notes properly. If you take the notes properly, it's not about writing everything down. Please do not stress about writing everything down. Many a time students think that, yes, okay, let's write fast, I may miss out on the information. You don't have to speak everything. Just write calmly, but make sure you take notes in an organized manner, because if you'll be able to read what you have written, you'll be able to speak in a clear manner and you'll be able to speak fluently as well. And then there will be no hesitations and pauses. Don't worry about writing everything down. Take organized and neat and clean notes. Another thing, do not try to take very long sentences, but at least a short phrase of 3, 4, 5 words, so that he can frame out sentences based on the understanding of the lecture and what you have written. Make sure while the lecture is going on, try to understand the lecture a bit. That will help you frame sentences and give your response in a better manner. Okay. So this is what your notes should look like. Now, if looking at these notes, if I have to retell the lecture, I can frame a story by myself as well. It's just about including these words and framing out a story. Dreams was the main topic of the lecture. Firstly, he mentioned that all the dreams are collection of images and thoughts which we have while we are awake. Furthermore, it was mentioned that dreams are a part of symbolic images and thoughts of what we think. Moreover, issues can be resolved with sleep, and with deep sleep, it is very important for health. Also, it was mentioned that sleeping is good and taking a nap during the day also benefits the health. Moreover, memory processes are beneficial and they help us to have a healthy life, and this can resolve a lot of issues while sleeping. To conclude, the lecture was about dream and mentioned that dreams are collection of images and thoughts, what we think while we are awake. Even if I'm not 100% accurate, it's okay, but you have to be 100% relevant. If you're 100% relevant, 100% you'll be fine. No one will actually check how accurate your information or how correct your information is, but they will check that yes, are you speaking relevant information or not? If you do, you'll be fine. If you use templates here, as I have shown you in Describe Image, the system will detect template and will mark you down 0. So this is a simple answer, similar to what I've provided you. These are few of the things you can take. Focus on the key points. Don't try to write everything down. If you miss some details, don't worry about it. Just focus on summarizing the main idea. If you have less keywords, you can paraphrase, use connectors that will help you frame your answer in a better manner. Try to speak around 30 seconds and don't take long pauses. When the lecture is going on, make sure you understand the lecture. The lectures will normally be around 50-60 seconds. Try to look for main points in the lecture, but if you're not able to take main points, it's okay. The whole idea is note taking. If you take the notes neatly, I'm telling you, the first time you practice, you'll not be able to read what you have written. Take the notes neatly so that you don't struggle on reading what you have written and you speak in a flow. Focus on your flow and make sure whatever you speak is clear. If there's any word you're not really sure, skip it. And if you get something very difficult, if you don't have enough notes, or if the lecture was too fast or too short, you just repeat the same ideas in different words. And you can use phrases like he discussed various aspects of the topic, which included whatever you've got. Okay, so this is what you have to do in Read a Lecture. I would highly recommend you to practice Read a Lecture because this sounds easy, but it's not actually easy. You have to practice, and this will help you get your desired scores in speaking and listening. The last question type is answer short question. Not really important. I don't really need you to worry about this. What happens here? You'll get general knowledge based questions. You have to just answer in 1 or 2 words. You'll have 5 to 6 1 word general knowledge based questions. Once the audio stops, you'll have to speak your answer after 1 or 2 seconds. This contributes in speaking and listening. You get 1 point for correct answer, 0 for incorrect. There is a trick here as well. This is how your screen is going to look like. This is the audio bar and this is the recording bar. You'll be given general knowledge based questions. You have to just give your answer in 1, 2, or 3 words. You don't have to give very long responses. Now, there will be a couple of scenarios here. If you know the right answer, you speak the right answer. If you do not know the right answer, do not keep quiet or don't say, I don't know. Every time I've taken the test, last 12 times I've got 90 listening, 90 speaking. And out of the 6 answer short questions, most probably I answer 4 of them correctly. 2 are slightly difficult and I'm not able to answer. But I never say I don't know. What I do is I repeat the keywords from the question. For example, the question is, which is the tallest building in the world? If you know the answer, say the answer. If you don't know the answer, just say tallest building in the world. This, you know, somehow works and I've never lost a single point out of it. Do not say I don't know. If you know the answer, you speak the answer. If you don't know the answer, repeat the keywords from the question. If you've got options, for example, Burj Khalifa or Petronas Tower, which is the tallest building out of two? You don't really know the answer, just repeat both the options. Burj Khalifa, Petronas Tower, tallest building in the world. You have to use this trick. If you don't really know the answer, do not keep quiet. Repeat few keywords from the question. Don't practice a lot of these. Just cover the YouTube predictions we post on YouTube, or you can cover the predictions which are available on Language Academy a week before your exam, and you will be good to go. Not really important. If you know the answer, speak the answer. If you don't know the answer, repeat a few keywords from the question. And if you have got options, repeat both the options and you'll be fine. And this is where your speaking module will end. Speaking is the backbone of PT. I have explained you each and everything. You just need to keep it simple. You have to be comfortable. You have to speak in a flow. You have to prioritize your clarity. I'm emphasizing this again and again. Do not focus on your speed, focus on your clarity, speak in a flow, try to maximize your content everywhere. Do not use templates in Describe Image and Retell Lecture, and you'll be 100% fine. I'll quickly show you one mock test for speaking, which you have to take, which will give you a clear idea of what you're actually getting, what are the mistakes, and what you need to work on so that you do not repeat the same mistakes in the test and you get your desired scores. So what you need to do is you just need to go on languageacademy.com.au. You can practice all the questions here in practice material, and then you have to make sure you take this extensive mock test for speaking. You take these mock tests. After the mock test, you'll get scorecard, feedback, tutor analysis, and everything you need to crack your test. You can get one free mock test for speaking, one for writing, one for reading, one for listening, three full mock tests as well, which you should be taking. I'll highly recommend this mock test and these extensive mock tests for each and every module. These are actually very important and will give you a clear idea of what are the things you need to take care of. So that was the speaking masterclass. I've covered everything, all the 5 question types, how you have to position your microphone, what are the things you need to do, what are the things you need to avoid, and what are the changes. The changes are you cannot use templates blindly. Even if you use the templates, you need to have relevant content, and that is something which will help you to get your desired scores. Now, I'll give you a practice plan. Every day, 15 read alouds, 25 repeat sentence, 3 describe image, 3 read a lecture. And a week before your test, just cover the answer short questions available on YouTube, on a channel, or on languageacademy.com.au. Just cover the predictions. There will be around 200 answer short questions, and you are likely to get something similar or something from the predictions itself. That's it from this video. I hope the video was helpful. If it was, do like, share, and subscribe. If you ever get your desired scores watching my videos, do let me know. That is something I work for, and that is something which will keep me going on. If you need any help, we have got our campuses in Australia, in India, and Nepal as well. We do provide online classes for PT Academic, PT Core, all around the world according to different time zones. We've got 12 to 13 sessions running every day. And if you are with us, we will give 100% to help you out and to help you get your desired scores in the very first go, like we have helped more than 50,000 students till date. That's it. Now go on languageacademy.com.au, register and practice, or you can download the LAPT exam practice app as well. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and stay safe.